Hey, we're live. Thank you for joining. It's Wednesday, it's 2 o'clock, and I'm continuing to encourage people to take time out for their self care. So, this is all in support of my colleagues at UCH, a hospital in London, and also for patients. So, for anyone who'd like to join, and this is open to everybody, and it's lovely to feel part of that wider community that we're doing our best to look after ourselves, and that way you can stay more resilient and help others as well. So, origami is a great practical tool to focus the mind, to find beauty and delight in something so simple. Hello, Stephen, we take paper for granted. I suppose we're using paper a little bit less than we were, but it is a wonderful material. It is renewable and it is easy to recycle, and it's based obviously on trees, but trees can grow again as well. So maybe it encourages planting them. I don't know, but let's keep appreciating paper. It is very special, and you can take any paper and fold it. So, as you know, I tend not to show with origami paper. Not that I don't love origami paper, because I do, but just to show you that you don't need special paper to make something special. Lovely to see you too, Alberto and Penny and Eric, Adrienne, Stephen. Really great to have you. Thank you for joining. Um, so this week, I'm really excited about sharing this, and I've been wanting to share this for quite a while actually. The persimmon, and it's from a beautiful book which the British Origami Society so kindly gave me. And I love it. It's a little bit old, it's a little bit delicate, but really beautiful. I love the illustrations in this book. So it's by Robert Harbin, who of course was their first president and a magician. And I love the idea that origami is a bit like magic. And this book is from, when's it from? It's called Secrets of Origami, the Japanese Art of Paper Folding by Robert Harbin. And it looks really quite old, but actually 1971. Well, it's older than I am. So yeah, it's a lovely book. Most of all, I love the illustrations. I often find diagrams, I think like most people find diagrams pretty hard. But if they're beautiful, it makes me want to try it a little bit more. And that's actually what makes me, yeah, what has inspired me about this book. So Alberto, it's called Secrets of Origami. Secrets of Origami. And yeah, it's by Robert Harbin. And there's lots of folds there from all sorts of other people as well as some of his own, and also traditional folds. Ah, Stephen, you've got it too. It's lovely, isn't it? It's kind of, for me, a real comfort book. I love that this book smells a little bit old. Don't you just love that book smell? You know, it's kind of, I have to handle it with care, which makes it really rather special. But the illustrations are just beautiful. They look to me almost 1950s, but they're not. They're from 1971, so I'm not correct in that. But they're just so stylish. So it's all in black and white, but I think works very well. And yeah, persimmon. I don't know if you've come across persimmon. This is a persimmon. This one needs a bit of brightening, I think, actually. It looks a little bit green still. I bought this today, actually. I saw some persimmon, I went, right, I'm going to get a persimmon. So yeah, they're not a fruit that we particularly have in Europe. Obviously, it's not from Europe, this persimmon. And sort of like leaves at the top. You can see it's got a symmetry of 4, actually. So, like, based on the square. So this is it. I'm not quite that convinced it's that similar. But you can see, I suppose, this is the middle and these are the leaves underneath. Dimensions are a little bit different, aren't they? Yeah, it is pretty huge person. Or else I'm pretty small, Eric, which is true, actually. I have to say, it reminds me more of the Chinese lantern, the middle bit. Anyway, look, that really does feel quite similar. But it has got those leaves. And I guess obviously in Asia and Japan, there'd be much more persimmon than we have. So, oh, the book smell, Eric. I wonder what it is. And I'm not sure anyone should define it. But it's that slightly musty smell, isn't it? Which could be a little bit, yeah. Which maybe, I hope it's not moldy, but it may be. Yeah. So, yeah, Adrian. But a really nice book. Actually, new books can also have a nice, different kind of smell. Though it's just opening and somehow does affect how you feel that association. So this is a really beautiful one. I really like it. it has its own tricky aspect to it. You will see if you've never made one before. You will see it's a really interesting one, and I love how again you're almost getting rid of the folds in the middle, and it's almost quite fragile. And there's something very organic about it. So, Adrian, so you're in New York, is that right? It's lovely to feel so international. Yeah. So grab yourself some paper. I have been over this time beginning to get going on thinking of what to do for the festive fold. So this is almost the last one. I wanted to fit this in because it feels very autumnal and I just want to have enjoyed autumn. I actually love this time of year. So I was keen to include this one. And then from next week onwards, it's all festive. And I think actually once we get into January, I want to just celebrate stars as well. So I'm going to continue the festivity. There are so many sorts of stars you can make. So I have no idea how I've kept going. I wasn't expected to do one a week for so long. So, but hopefully somehow I found things and been lovely finding these traditional folds as well. But I think Robert Harbin's book is a really good place to start. So I will maybe be dipping back in that. Hook Norton. Oh, where's Hook Norton? Where are you near? I'm curious now. Right. As usual, let's make a square. Not always, but Manny, thank you for joining. Welcome. Yeah, no, not too late. I always chat for the first 5 minutes or so. So for that very reason. So Manny, we're going to be making a persimmon. This one up here, this beautiful book, Robert Harbin book, Secrets of Origami. I have to handle the book with care, which makes it that bit more special. Right, let's make a square. Probably almost all of you have got origami paper, but again, I do this for access really, and I've ended up loving making my own squares. The ripped edge, there's something beautiful about that. Yeah, I'm going to be celebrating stars in January because it's going to be dark. It's horrible after Christmas and New Year, isn't it? So I think that will be the time to bring out our sparkle, and then slowly spring will happen. To be honest, it's only just beginning to get cold here, so which is quite late. Chipping Norton. Adriana, I was thinking you're in New York, so exotic. Chipping Norton, not quite the same, but yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, it's nice to dream, isn't it? So I'm going to remove the rectangle, just making a square first of all. Have any of you made this before? I'm just curious. It wasn't a traditional one I'd really come across before, but I just love it. Eric, you've been saying about how you've been doing wonderful things with the persimmon little light. Yeah, I definitely can imagine a little light in there. Really nice, really beautiful. And trees and decorations, really lovely. And I guess it's a decoration that can go on well past the usual festive times as well. So I've done one diagonal line. If you've got origami paper, do that diagonal line, please. And then let's do the other diagonal line. As usual, I try to go nice and slowly. I think sometimes the people, good origamists, bless them, they can go a bit fast. And which is fine, but people learning something new then. Yes. Oh, excellent, Stephen. You've made it before. But can't remember if you made it before. Yeah, not sure. Yeah. Oh, it's really nice. I'm excited about sharing this. Yeah, and in a way you can feel it's related to other things as well. So I have done both diagonals and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do a horizontal and a vertical fold. There we go. So horizontal and vertical. It's one of these many bases. Well, I suppose only a few bases. Oh, you hadn't made it before. Oh, interesting. So you hadn't. Oh, I just see. I can certainly imagine this with a little bulb, a little LED bulb inside there. It'd be lovely. Well, great to bring you something new. I found this a delight, absolute delight. Obviously, orange papers or lovely shades of. To me, it feels like shades of orange and yellows and reds would be gorgeous with this. But any colour. Just thinking of nature. Right. So take it, push all the edges together, like the fortune teller, isn't it? And squashing it down. That's right. So it's a square. So we have got open edge at the top and closed at the bottom, just making sure we've got it all the same way round. So if you take one of these little pages, think of it as leaves, we've got a little page, and if you pop your finger in there, I encourage that just to get rid of the wrinkles at the bottom and squash it down. I just find you learn by doing these things, don't you? Oh, Barbara, welcome. Welcome, Barbara. I hope that you've been able to get started with us. I hope so. If not, watch and enjoy, and you can rewind this as well, so it will be on there. Yeah, welcome, Barbara. Where are you, Barbara? Are you in the UK or in another country? You're welcome wherever you come from. Yay! Just enjoy that it is alive. It's absolutely live. Yeah. So I've done one side. I'm going to turn to the back. And again, like leaves of a book. And then pop your finger in. Hopefully, even if you're not folding live, it's just nice to feel part of a group and that this is live in time. There is something different about that, isn't it? California, woohoo! Is it warm there? Is it too warm there? I hope not. Yeah, or is it getting chillier? I'm not sure. Oh, I've got a good friend in Santa Barbara who I see once a week, which is very nice. Online, obviously. Again, another side. Oh, well, thank you for joining us. Oh, it's nice. Yes, it's warm. It's lovely to feel a bit more connected with the world, isn't it? And in a weird way, although we are obviously traveling less or not at all. Santa Barbara, excellent. You can feel even more part of the world these days because you can be having a chat like with Barbara across in California. It's wonderful. We're all kind of going through these weird times together, even if it's mostly at home. But a privilege if you can do that as well. Excellent. Well, Santa Barbara looks beautiful, Barbara. Beautiful area of the world. Right, I'm just making sure everything's lined up there. So I'm attempting to do it in the camera. Amazing what your brain can do. So I want you to leaf through until you get to the smooth side without that line in half. And do the same thing at the back. So again, I'm going to turn the page and do it so it's balanced, of course. Otherwise, it won't feel comfortable. Okay, so everybody happy? Have we got it at this stage? Let's smooth this side and that side. Again, trying to go nice and slowly. Enjoy being paced, and hopefully that's relaxing for you too. So our next step is to take the bottom corner and bring it up to the top corner. So we're making a halfway line. Excellent. Oh, well done, Eric. I hope you're feeling, clearly you're feeling better, which is really good news. You must be feeling better. Oh, done. Commit to memory. A very good idea, Marnie. When it was helpful to learn a different base. Yeah. I mean, you'll find that they soon become really familiar, the different bases. But yeah, it's a really great thing to do, to have a go at memorizing one. It becomes a real joy. So I guess I would go with just a fold that you enjoy, that has meaning to you. Don't start with anything too complicated. To be honest, something like the crane is a pretty complicated one. So anyway, whatever it is that you like, you can definitely learn. Repetition is the way to learn, and you'll find after a while, without even having to make an effort, if you do it quite a few times, you will find it's going into your brain. Right, so I'm going to take the front, this flat, a favourite fold. Oh, that's a hard one, but a good question. Probably the traditional lily, which is how I first learned origami. It's not the easiest fold, but they're very beautiful. At the end, if I remember, I'll show you the bunch of flowers that I made. So just to show you, I've just taken this front leaf, bringing it down, and I'm squashing down. Can you see these triangles? Keep it all lined up. It's an interesting fold, this, isn't it? Yeah. And I really like the modular pieces too, Barbara. There's something quite wonderful. I start because I'm a scientist originally, and I just when I can see those similarities. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, I'm sorry you had a rough time, Eric. But you're much better, so that's great. Okay, so hopefully it's looking like that. And then if you turn to the back, yeah, stars are really good. I think last year I recorded the traditional star. You make a pentagon. That's great fun, making a pentagon and folding a whole star from a single piece of paper. Yeah. Oh, I like this comparing favourite folds. Yeah, what are your favourite folds? Great question. Hydrangea. You know what? I've never actually had a go at that, Stephen. Somehow I've missed doing it. So I'm doing the same thing on this side. Again, I guess the key is keeping that flat. I'm bringing this down and then pushing these in and keeping it flat. Or maybe it's something I should have a go at. Yeah, I've tended not to go for very complicated ones, to be honest. Maybe that's a comment on me, but I think it's partly because it's whether you like the abstract or the more realistic. Although the hydrangea is completely both, isn't it? To be frank, there we go. So I am going to leaf. If you can sort of almost leaf through your book until you get to a smooth side, and maybe do the same on the back. That way, it's balanced. And same thing. Take that top and just bring it down. This time it's a little bit simpler because it's almost just one half that you're doing of that. Bring it down. Oh, that looks slightly different height. Interesting. The joys of doing the camera. And the same thing with the other one. Oh. It is a super fold, I agree. It really is. I'm wondering what's going on this side. It's interesting, isn't it? Why is this sticking? All right, I'm just going to adjust that one. I think if you see something that's sticking out doesn't feel right, the great thing is with paper, you can go again. So hopefully we've got something that's looking like that. Again, I would keep the pages that they're equal. Great. So our next fold, we're going to sort of do it halfway there. We're going to take this line and bring it up to that vertical line. So it's pretty thick, to be honest. It's not the easiest step. So I took this line and I brought it up to that vertical line. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Very thick. So that bottom line up to the vertical. Yeah, you were unlucky to get and not feel great after that, Eric. But definitely worth protecting. I think immunity obviously wanes the older you are, the more immunity will wane. So it's really worth doing. It's a horrible disease, isn't it? Whilst you could be okay, you absolutely might not be, and you could definitely pass it on to someone else as well. So the more we can protect ourselves and others, the more we can help the entire world. That's each of us plays a part. And yeah, bottom line again, bringing up to that vertical one. So I'm just doing it sort of front and back actually. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Excellent. Bottom line up to the vertical. Yeah. Excellent. Who's the hydrangea by again, Stephen? I've forgotten. So I guess it was a real breakthrough, wasn't it, from what I understand, that those kind of tessellations. I've attempted occasionally and it's just not gone well, and so I've just lost heart a bit. Obviously that's not the right attitude, but at some point, if you're not having, it feels again like you need a person. So that sounds a really good idea, the website. Yeah, I think I've attempted to do diagrams and then I've just got fed up with it, which is why I think you need people to learn. So hopefully, have you got something like this? It looks sort of square, thicker there. Right, you will see that your piece has got 4 sides to it. So maybe put it into that position of 4 so that they're sort of opposite each other, each of these. Right, this is going to be the tricky but interesting bit. So you'll need to grip down each time at opposites because what you're trying to do is slowly start to spread out the middle again. So you're almost trying to remove folds, and it's surprisingly difficult actually. So I would hold that up there towards the top, and the action you'll be doing is pulling away like that to open it. Fujimoto, Fujimoto, Shuzo Fujimoto. It's a fractal tessellation. Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's really tough here. So holding up here, and we're going to pull outwards. And I tend to, I don't know what the correct way of doing this, this is just from what I found, is I'm opening a little bit and then I go to the next 2 and so on. And it won't open all the way. It's a really interesting one. Right, so I'm going to start pulling out. And each time holding opposite. And you have to squeeze that paper because you don't want it to undo. Slowly, slowly. This little fruit, and I did get a lovely reaction from a colleague who's doing this. She's like, "Oh, I'm ready to screw my fingers," which is so true. It really is like a piece of magic when it does, like, wow, out of a closed thing. Huh. Oh, interesting. It's quite tough. Yeah, it must be very tough for you. I find it tough on my fingers, this. I guess you're having to squeeze at the bottom to keep it, otherwise it would all unravel. I'm hoping it doesn't tear at the top. I feel like, oh, it's a tough one. But interesting. Hopefully it will start to sort of open up. It won't open up all the way. As I said, it's just quite an interesting one. But I love how organic it feels. These weird kind of lines side, how it looks quite thin at the top, and then the leaves look quite kind of perfect. Now you may find your own technique for doing this. I don't think it goes all the way. Maybe it does. Maybe it does get further. I don't know. As far as you dare. Loving. Oh, yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? Yes, I agree, Stephen. It is like the back of the bed. I'm loving it too. That's why I said I've been very excited about sharing this, and I know it's quite, in its own way, it's quite a tricky one, really. It is like that moment of magic when the bird back kind of inflates. And it's interesting because this isn't through breath, it's through, I suppose, getting rid of folds. But I love it. Oh, glad you're enjoying it too. I think this is mine. I don't know whether it would open up further or not. I don't know. But it's very sculptural, very interesting, kind of tricky, kind of cool. And it really does feel like a piece of paper magic. Oh, hello, honey. Oh, thank you. We are having magic. Honey, you must definitely try out the persimmon one. It's tricky, but beautiful. I think it, but yeah, it is a tricky one to do, Alberto. But there's the video and there's this live fold you can play back as well. It is like a little piece of magic, that a fruit. I don't know why, I find it very transforming. How far do you dare to open this thing? I don't think I've opened it as much, actually. Oh dear. Isn't it wonderful? It's become quite a big round fruit, actually. Yeah, welcome, honey. I hope you're keeping well. Sounds like you're a nice busy bee. I hope so. Oh, we were just looking at the real person. Yeah, this one's a little bit bigger, and there's the leaves at the bottom, but you can sort of see the feeling that it's related-ish. So it feels a bit more like a Chinese lantern. Oh, you can fold the petals back to make a star as well, can you? Oh, oh, I suppose you can just bring it back. Probably that's as far as, yes, that's true. Oh, you're so welcome. Well, it's from Robert Harbin's book, and I just thought the picture was delightful, so it made me want to make this, and it feels like a bit of a lovely discovery. It's kind of simple but incredible. Yes, I know. You never quite get it perfect at the top, and again, I think that's part of its magic, that it's quite organic. But have a little look again at the picture in the book. It's so nice. Like, pretty, isn't it? That's what we've done. I like the picture with the fingers on there too, and the final piece where it looks like a kind of a Japanese signature too. I love it. So yeah, and it's nice in kind of orange papers, or you could have coloured it a bit as well. It's true. I think mine has opened up a bit more here, where I encouraged by Stephen. Yeah, exactly. It is, which I think is more like a piece of nature as well, that you can. It's not perfect, and that's what makes it feel to me really exciting, like a little special fruit. Wonderful. I hope that's really lifted your mood. I think this is really one for lifting the mood. So next week, continuing, and we'll start getting a little bit festive. There'll be a star coming next week. There'll be lots of stars actually in January, and some other special ones from a wonderful origamist who I met recently. I'm going to give you a little brief glimpse of this because it's fantastic. Oh, where is it? Where did I put it? I wanted to show you something. No, it's refusing to. No, come prepared. Oh no, it is. It's just here by me. So I don't know if you've come across Peter Buchanan Simmons, and he joined the British Origami Society when he was young. I think he said he was about 8, and he's here in Oxford, and we met up. It was fantastic to meet him, and he's been designing his own origami, and he's made this beautiful book. So I have been testing it out. As I said, I'm not, I find diagrams pretty tough, but I managed to make everything in there. And he's very kindly let me demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate a couple from here in total, but others I will keep in there because it's to encourage people to also maybe consider having a look too. But it's a really nice book, and I thought that could be a really nice idea for a present as well. So not next week, but the week after, we're going to make the little Santa and a card. I think it's so cute. His little arms out. I have to more steps than I normally do, so it's going to take me a bit of practice to get there. Also including in here, this is for, I think, for Christmas Day. It's a sneaky preview. Making the star, which apparently is a traditional fold I hadn't done before, and I absolutely love it. There's something about that, like the persimmon, that just makes me feel, I don't know, almost like goose pimples. It's just something really lovely about that. So that's something I will be showing you. I don't know how many of you know this one. I hadn't come across it before, but it's a traditional fold. So lots to come along to. Deborah, that's fine. You can rewind and look back. So it's no problem at all. Lovely. Thank you for joining us. So wishing you all, the Santa's gorgeous as a little card as well. So it's making card. It's such a clever idea. Cards where you can poke in your model rather than gluing. But I do think the glue thing is a Western preoccupation, so I tend to be less bothered about that. But it's a really neat idea. So it's great. So the Santa from Peter will be amazing. Anyway, oh, brilliant. Excellent. Oh, that's wonderful, Stephen. Oh, he's doing great things. It's lovely to meet him, and he's encouraging others as well. So sending best wishes to you all and wishing you a good rest of your week. And I'll see you next week with a star, and we're going to start getting more festive. Take care. Take care, honey, as well. Bye, Adrian. I still thought that you might be New York. Anyway. Bye bye.